we doing, guys? And it's finished. Athletic Bilbao 0, Arsenal 2. The perfect away Champions League night. Another win. Another clean sheet. Still haven't conceded a goal from open play. But that was a difficult game. And it wasn't the prettiest. And our squad depth is the reason why we won that game. Inspired substitutions from Mikel Arteta, and Trossard and Martinelli were the match winners. And I'll tell you something, fair play to Martinelli. I'll criticise the guy when he does things wrong, and I'll praise him when he does things right. Tonight when he came on, he was superb. The goal, superb. I've seen some people online speaking and saying that the finish wasn't that great. And I've had a look at it and, okay, it wasn't the greatest. But let me just say this. Martinelli could have fell over and put the ball in the back of the net with his backside. And I wouldn't care. Why should we care? The ball went in the net. That's the objective. Put the ball in the net. He did. And it was superb. And then the second goal, he beat his man. He used his pace. He did everything that we've been screaming at him to do for the last couple of years. And then Trossard, little deflection, off the post and in. 2-0, game over. Even at 1-0, you're probably sitting there and thinking, you ain't getting back into this. Good luck trying to score against us. And I think that now we've left that kind of mark on teams. I think we've got this kind of aura about us that you dare not go 1-0 down against Arsenal. Because if you do, you'll be lucky to even equalise and get a draw out of the game, let alone score 2. That's kind of the mindset it feels like now. Everybody's approaching the games against us and thinking, defence is a joke. Don't want to go 1-0 down against them. But I said it in my preview, didn't I? This was going to be a difficult game. It was never, ever going to be a carbon copy of the pre-season friendly last month that we won 3-0 at the Emirates. First and foremost, we were playing away. They haven't had Champions League football for over a decade. Did you hear the atmosphere in that stadium? They were so up for it. And fair play to them because it sounded electric. And the first 20 minutes, they were all over us. I don't think they created real clear-cut chances, but they were sustaining us and pushing us back. And then we started to grow into the game a bit. And then we started to make some chances. And I think that we probably had the best chances of the first half. And at no real point at half-time was I sitting there looking back on what Athletic Bilbao did and saying, we got lucky with that one, and we got lucky with that one. And if it wasn't for Raya, it never felt like that. They had 2 shots on target all game. So it was very much one of those where they have a lot of play in and around the box, very solid in the midfield, but then it kind of all just fizzles out. And maybe that's where they needed someone like a Nico Williams that could have possibly, unlocked the door for them. But at the end of the day, it's a solid performance. And whilst we're speaking about the defence, can I just say, Christian Mosquera, I never thought I would say this, right? But William Saliba does not need to be rushed back. If William Saliba does not start the game against Man City on Sunday, I'm not sitting here worried. I'm looking at it and going, how can you drop Mosquera? Because he's been that good. And I'm not even exaggerating. When we were all praising him after the Liverpool game, a lot of people were like, hold on, it's one game, relax a little bit. Then he performed the way he did against Nottingham Forest, and it's 2 games, relax a bit. Now it's 3 games. What is it? Relax a bit. Let's just say we've got one hell of a player on our hands. My word. And again, we're not speaking about Gabriel because it was just a standard solid performance from him. Calafiori, Jurriën Timber, David Raya. It's just a brick wall. And what did I say in my preview as well? I felt that Mikel Arteta would go with Mikel Moreno in that 10 position. And yeah, that's what he did. And at the end of the day, listen, if we don't go and win the game and you get a 0-0, which wouldn't have been the worst result, by the way, then I suppose the inquests would start and everyone would say, well, we needed a bit of creativity and all these different things. But Mikel got it right. And he got the substitutions right. And, you know, Eze had a quiet game tonight. But he will learn from that. That's his first appearance in the Champions League. And he will go away from it and he will watch the game back and he will say, okay, I know what I need to do. This is another level. You know, with all due respect, this is not playing for Crystal Palace anymore. You know, there was a moment in the first half when Madueke, you know, broke down his side, cut the ball back, and you're thinking, Eze, tap in 1-0. But he waits for the ball to arrive and the defender nips in front of him. And I'm thinking, yeah, do you know what? You ain't getting that amount of time in the box in the Champions League. You can't wait for the ball to arrive to your feet. You've got to attack the ball. So they're little things that Eze will learn. But how good is our depth? When you're thinking, no Martin Odegaard, no William Saliba, no Kai Havertz, no Bukayo Saka. If that was a year ago, 2 years ago, we'd be sitting there pulling our hair out. We'd be sitting there just completely and utterly like mind blown and thinking, what are we going to do? How are we going to get through this game? But now we're not even looking at it and thinking that they're missing. Don't worry, like, believe me, I want them back more than anything, but we're not missing them at the moment. Saliba's there, waiting. It's not a bad substitute to have, is it? Kai Havertz obviously is out for a little longer. Bukayo Saka doesn't seem like he's that far away. And Madueke again, I thought he had a really good performance again. And what I saw tonight was Bilbao doing what a lot of Premier League teams do to Saka, double up. And that's a compliment to Madueke. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it's another decent performance. He's causing problems and long may it continue. So yeah, listen, at the end of the day, the story of the night is Martinelli. I'm really pleased for him. I'm glad he's got that goal. He's got an assist. Trossard as well. Mikel Arteta with the inspired substitution within less than 40 seconds. What more could you ask for as a manager when you make a substitution that happens? You're just walking around with your chest out thinking, yeah, I'm the man. What a substitution. But at the end of the day, it's match week 1 in the Champions League. It's important to get off to a win. Being away from home makes it even better. Olympiacos next time out before we play Atletico Madrid and Simeone and everything else. So that could be a big 3 points. And ultimately, we've got to finish in that top 8. That's our aim. No qualifying games or anything finishing, you know, below there. And no, none of that. Let's just have our feet up and chill and go straight into the round of 16. So that's a big win. And like I said, clean sheet, still no goals from open play conceded. And we can now sit back, put our feet up and prepare for Man City. And, you know, we'll see how they fare in the Champions League. But they're not actually playing until Thursday night. So we've got quite lucky with that, because if we're flying back from Spain tonight, I imagine the players will probably be home and in bed before 1 a.m, given the fact it was an early kickoff as well. So we can just chill, put our feet up. Man City have got to play on Thursday evening. It's like what you normally have to do when you play in the Europa League. So it's not ideal for them. But at the end of the day, it's a win. It's a clean sheet. It's 3 points. And what more do you want from the start of a Champions League campaign? It's as simple as that. So there we go. That is it for my match reaction. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the game. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.